Don't be, don't tell me what to do, Mom. Alright, welcome back to The Haunting of Joni Evers. Hopefully this will be the last episode. It has to be, because I already recorded this before, then something happened with the recording and some weird windowed mode shenanigans. So I unfortunately know what's going to happen, so my reactions will not be as surprised and shocked and bedazzled as they were the first time around. But yeah, I also might be a little bit jaded, and maybe I'm a bit redundant because I don't know what I said in the actual last episode and what I said in the episode I re-recorded now, or re-recording now. Okay, Mom, I guess we're doing this.
I've got the relic. What now?
The Skullmen sealed them away. Use this spot. I can pull them back from here.
Wait. Aren't you afraid he'll take you too? I can't lose all of you.
Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. Place it in the circle. Kablam! Oh.
Why didn't that work?
I was afraid of this.
What?
Nothing to worry about. The Skullman's just closer than I thought.
Closer? Sounds like something we should be worried about, Mom.
He's not here yet. We just need more power. The other relics. You restored them?
Yeah, why? You need me to get them?
Yes. I'll need all of them to break his curse.
Right. So now I've got to trudge back through the haunted house.
You can do it. Yeah, but I don't want to.
Thanks.
It's not about can. I'll be waiting when you return.
I'll hold you to that.
It's not about can, it's about wanting. Also, if it stutters, it stutters. We did this before, it was a mess, so... Something wrong? I don't know.
No. It's weird. You know?
I know.
I haven't spoken to you in years. Suppose I still haven't.
I may not be here, but I am real.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, thanks.
But you're not. Time's ticking. Yeah. We need the other relics.
Right. Honest.
Mom? Don't be, don't tell me what to do, Mom. You're not my mom. Okay, alright. This is so annoying because this feels like padding. This is backtracking, and in a game like this, I do not enjoy it. Also, so I replayed the game, and boy oh boy, this is a bad game for replaying immediately after you played it. Before, you can't skip anything. You can't skip anything. Nothing. And the dialogues are timed in a way that you have to play them out fully. And sometimes even wait afterwards to trigger the next scene, because I was like I was going to places where I knew I would have to go, and then nothing happened because I didn't trigger the proper dialogue option, by walking to a very specific spot and talking to whoever I was talking to at the time. And that's so, like, for a first playthrough it was no issue at all because it was very intuitive. Oops.
Not this thing.
But for the second playthrough it was so annoying. How do I do this? Do I go through the basement?
What?
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. That's why I immediately, that was me knowing what would happen, so that's why I didn't even engage with the... I guess it's not the mannequin. I think I falsely said that in the last episode, because it has a head and the mannequins don't. So how do we do this? Did I have to do this more often? This was annoying. I remember that. I was annoyed by this. Like, how did I do this? No, there's no door here. Huh. And now it's gone. Okay. Yeah, it was a little bit of a shenanigan thing where you had to walk other directions until it's gone. Look, I see you! Bozo. You know. God damn it. Annoying little shit. Okay. Still there? Yeah. Yeah. I've already seen it, Joni. I don't even know why I have the flashlight on. Because it's very dark, that's why. It's there as well. And we're so slow, like we can't even walk fast. That's so annoying. And the flashlight sucks, by the way. There we go. Look. It feels like padding to have to go around the whole way just to circumvent it. It's like, oh, really? Seriously? You know, it's not that much fun. And it's not as scary, I think, as was intended. What I can tell you, I kept going on and on about this, that I'm in love with the soundtrack, especially in this part of the game. And I don't know, it doesn't speak necessarily for the game because it got a little bit chaotic towards the end, but it speaks for the soundtrack. It's so gorgeous. It's beautiful. And I think I compared it to Joby Talbot, who is a British, I think, composer, who I really, really love.
That's it. Now, to get these to Mom in the living room.
Okay.
Oh shit, the clutter's gone.
Oh.
No complaints here. Makes getting around a lot easier.
Oh. I didn't know. That's why I missed that the last time. So now I can... But does it make it going away? Oh, what just happened? I don't need to go there. Do I? Huh. Anyways, yeah, Joby Talbot it reminds me of. It's not Joby Talbot. I saw the outro for this game. But yeah, very reminiscent in a very lovely way. It's so beautiful. Right, Mom, I'm back. I hope I wasn't too slow for you. Bop, bada bop, bada bop. Here goes nothing. If you'll do the honors, what? We've got this.
We've got this.
Oh yeah. With the power of Grayskull! No, this looks more like Captain Planet, right? Water! Fire! Air!
It worked.
The other thing. You came back, Mom. What's Grandma saying? I don't... You came back, you came back, you came back. I was always here. Okay, so now the blobs have discussions in between. Tell that to
Stop.
Joni.
It's okay. It's okay. You're all here now. Vestiges of people I wasn't sure I'd ever see again. That's what matters. There's a lot of shit I gotta work through. I know this is just the beginning, but you all mean the world to me. Thank you for helping me remember that. Right now, we've got bigger problems. There's an unwelcome guest in our home. Let's go kick that fucker out.
Yes. Hell yeah. One more whatever adventure.
We can get rid
Language,
of him, can't we?
Firefly.
I hope that speech wasn't for nothing.
We can. We'll use the relics. And meet you in the basement.
Basement. Right.
Okay. Joni? Yeah, Mom? I'm proud of you. Yeah, whatever. Look, it's not about you being proud of me. It's about me being proud of you, which I'm not, because you're a bad mom, okay? Don't forget that. Look, this wasn't my mistakes. You don't have to forgive me and be proud of me. I don't give a shit. Anyways, well, Joni probably gives a shit, but I don't. So don't forget to pick those up. Yeah, it's... Oh, shit! Oh, I could talk to them. Oh, I thought they would stay if I kept those... I thought they would stay. So you have, like, some conversations. I'm summarizing, I'm so sorry. So with the dad, she has, like, this talk that she is, again, sorry that she didn't trust him and whatever, believe in him. Which, again, it's reversed. Joni, it's fine. Your dad was not particularly good with the actual parenting stuff. He was good with the fun stuff, but that should have been Joni's task, you know, to be loose and fun with her sister and not to have to take care about administration stuff and parenting and making sure everyone is fed, you know. And so I don't know why, but she apologizes to her dad, but her dad, to his, you know, he actually says, you know, no, I'm sorry, I was a bad dad. And then she's like, no, you weren't. And then he was like, yeah, I was. And then she's like, no, you weren't. And then they're kind of happy. And then with Grandma, I think there's also something about an apology that she didn't really talk to Grandma for such a long time. The same goes with sister. And it's all very weird and a little bit cringy because especially with the sister, the tonality is a bit too adults trying to write a teenager. So at least from my point of view, and I'm an old lady, so what do I know, but it felt weird. The whole section felt really weird to me because that's not what I expected. And I usually like to be surprised, but yeah, it was awkward. And unfortunately, you can apparently completely skip it if you just take the items, because I thought they would stay until I go to the basement. So I'm very sorry about it. Yeah, now we can... Oh, that's the shortcut, so now we can go to the studio. Studio. And go to the basement. Okay. I think the voice actress is great. I don't think the writing is as tight. It's a little bit all over the place. Alright, chapter 11, banishment. There they are. Ready? No, not really.
Ask you the same.
Not really. We're all ready. Okay, that's good to know.
Now.
Place the relics. We'll show you where. Follow our lights. You can do this, sis. Like,
Thanks.
sis. Ugh, I don't know. Follow me. Okay, Mom, where are you going? Welcome back. You think your family can help you? All you have are memories. Useless memories. You'll always be alone. We've got you. Thanks, cool. Everyone, to your spots. Place the relics, Joni. Like, this is getting into 80s family movie territory, but the weird ones, you know? Like, the ones that got really... They were truly 80s, you know? Where it was just a little bit out there. And you can't really explain them to people who were not there when it happened. Because it's so bonkers. It's very cheesy. And weirdly, very written for kids. Like, I felt like I was watching a
Dead end?
Goosebumps.
Must be another way.
What? Oh no!
No!
Ah, it got you, sis. Alright. Well. Oh yeah!
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you, Blob. Co-op, Coven, fuck the what? Now hurry. Yeah, I'm just flabbergasted by this whole thing. I'm sorry. There you go. Look, first relic. Nice. Yeah, it reminds me of what's it called? Goosebumps. And I'm one of the few people who I didn't really care about Goosebumps. I thought there were better horror stories for children out there. There was an Australian show and book series that I thought was a lot better and cooler. But that's just me, you know. But yeah, it reminds me of Goosebumps in its ridiculousness. Oh, we're not going there? Okay, Grandma, I guess we're going with you now. Where are you? Oh, okay. Oh god, jump scared. I'll clear you a path. Man, follow me. That's embarrassing that I got jump scared by this. Stand back. Wow, Grandma!
Grandma, nice lift.
Yeah. I'm full of surprises. I mean, that's it. There's no more surprise from her. So, it's not full of surprise. I'm full of one surprise. Okay. Okay, where's Coulson? Oh, there he is. There in the back. Hey, Dad. You're pretty far away. Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
That was close. How do I get back there now?
Oh, he said something. Gotta get creative. Follow me. See you on the other side. Whoop.
I was thinking outside the box.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Dad. Where are we? Where are we? One more. Yeah. Mom again. She's just, you know, pushing me so much. You took your time, Mom. You're not even here. It's just your vestige. And you're, like, putting so much pressure on me.
How do we get through?
Back up. Kablam! Oh, yeah!
Mom, are you okay?
Where is she? I'm fine. Let's finish this. You know what this reminds me of? A kid-friendly version of that Dream Warriors Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Where she gets ready and she gets like her, you know, fingerless gloves on and like her headband and everything. Oh man. Like, look at this! This is Nickelodeon in the 90s. It's over. You're nothing. Oh, you're nothing. I read not thing. Don't listen. No. Keep going. I'm in control here.
No.
You're almost there.
You're not.
Look at the skull man. He's like, I don't know, man. No. What's going on here? Where are we? You can do this. What type of game are we playing? This was not what we signed up for. I mean, seriously, am I the only one who thinks this is wildly out of left field? Finish it. Ugh, finish him. Love you. Alright, there you go. With the power of photography. The power of photography compels you. Skullman defeated. Look, he's even like shards. So was he like, oh yeah, he was the television. So was the evil the television all along? I like that it even had like the Nickelodeon slime next to us. So yeah, played through it twice and it hit just as hard and befuddlingly. Yeah, what did we do?
The Skullman's gone. Vanished without a trace. But with him, the vestiges are gone too.
You know what's so wild about this? She also told the Vestiges, like, I thought I would never see you again. And the entire time I played it through the first time, I was like, did their family die? Is that the thing? That she kind of reverted back into the house and into the memories and was so bitter about everything because everyone died in a freak accident? Because she was like, I thought I would never see you again. I'm like, it's your family. You didn't even have a big fallout, except for shitty mom, you know. Everyone else was just moving away, and you could just easily pick up the phone or write a postcard or whatever. I don't see why you thought you would never ever see them ever again. It's so wild. And that's what I mean with the writing is not quite there. Because that's a weird thing to say when you're as young as Joni is, presumably. She's, I don't know, in her mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s. And she acts like there's no way she'll ever see a family again. Like she's on the moon. It's weird. And it really confused me throughout because I was partially like, did she lose them? Is there, like, did I miss something? Or is that like the reveal? But no, she was just overly dramatic.
Even if I never see the Vestiges again, oh, they've opened my eyes. My story's not over. I found something else in the envelope Mom left me. A phone number.
Like, that's also wild. Wouldn't the wife at least give her mother or her husband or ex-husband, I don't know, her phone number? Like, why did she like, what a shitty mom. What a freakingly shitty mom. Or Joni never asked anyone, because I feel like, did mom not even contact like the other daughter, her mother, or her husband? Like, did she really go no contact? And that's not needed. You can go on adventures and still have contact. It's, I don't know, the whole thing with the mom, the more I think about it, the angrier I get, really. Okay, next up, that should be sister.
Maybe I got lucky. Auspicious, as Sarah would say. Oh, but it's more than that. I had my family. Oh, I should take a trip out west. Spend some time with Sarah. Just the two of us. Let her take the wheel for once. The Skull Man gambled on my weakness. My over self-reliance, my short-sightedness, the wounds I never took the time to heal. And he lost. Dad always taught me the best way to catch fireflies was patience. Never imposed, never forced. Guess his patience paid off. This firefly's ready to reconnect.
Someone felt very, very smug writing this, but it's not for me.
I've still got the house. My grandmother's house. Even without the Vestiges, I still have everything here to remember them by. If there's one thing Grandma taught me, it's never too late for one more adventure.
I was mostly concerned about Grandma because it was like, why did she move out? I mean, did she move out with Sarah because, like, did Joni throw them all out? I get that Sarah left. I don't know why the father left. I don't know why Grandma left. Like, it's weird to me that they all left. They have this huge house. Apparently they don't have that much money. Why do you waste money? And I don't mean Sarah. Sarah has all the reasons to move out and find herself, but her father and her grandma supposedly were really tied to this house, you know, and to the neighborhood or whatever, because otherwise the father probably would have gone with his wife on adventures together with the children. So I don't know, why did they leave in the first place? And I feel like either I forgot or was never mentioned in the story. And that's one of those things where I'm like, it feels overly dramatic for what we've been through. There was no real, outside of the mother, who was just shitty, abandoned her family, but everything else felt like typical family stuff you have, you know, where not everything's perfect and there's tension and everything. I think the father made mistakes, you know, but he was still there. and you probably could have talked to him before that and addressed it. So I get, all those issues, but the way they're presented is like they're so big, like insurmountable, you cannot overcome them. And from my perspective, it's not, I don't know, I don't see how these things got to where they were. From what I know, I don't know why there was such a big rift with Joni unless she got really aggressive and threw them out. But that was not really mentioned as much. So it's really, it's really difficult to tie all this together. And I think that ending was bonkers, wasn't it? I mean, I'm not alone with this, right? This was not the same game. I played it the first time and I enjoyed it a lot because I do like when it goes off. But then afterwards I was like, man, I would have enjoyed this game so much more if that would have been the whole, the cheesy 80s movie tone would have been so fantastic and such a breath of fresh air for this genre. But because the entire first 2/3 of this game were very serious, very emotional, of course with like cheesy lines and weird humor and some weird reactions from Joni to certain events, but it all still was a bit, laid back, cozy horror stuff, nothing too crazy, nothing too, out there. And then the ending was like, what is going on? This is suddenly, such a weird shift visually, tonally, but also the whole game setting suddenly changed, And it's a huge whiplash, I think. And maybe it's because it's a fresh developer team, I don't know, maybe they all had very different ideas and didn't want to disappoint anyone, so they wanted to include everything. Maybe they had ideas for 2 games, but kind of mashed them together so everyone was happy with it. It feels a little bit uneven. And I, playing through the ending, I was like, I would have loved this over-the-top thing, this cheesy, those horrible slogans and lines, to have that throughout in a more absurd way, to really go all in on the 80s cheese. But yeah,
I've been holding on for too long. Oh. Time to stop fighting the current.
Edith, I owe you an apology. You're not gonna believe the night I just had. Oh, maybe you will. Sorry, I've been pushing you away lately. I've been, well, Wanna grab a late lunch at Oz's today? My treat. I'll fill you in on everything. Hey, sis. Sorry, I haven't been returning your calls. I got your postcard. Thanks for checking up on them. I'm sure Dad really appreciates it. But that's not why I called. It's time I come out and see your operation in LA. I've heard so much about it. I'm proud of you, sis. Anyway, call me back, jerkface. Hi, Grandma. It's been a while. Hope everything's going okay. Sarah told me... Well, the house is still doing good. I recently, took a tour of your old library. Found some really helpful stuff in there. So, thanks for that. I'm coming to see you and Dad soon. Oh boy, do I have an adventure to tell you about. I'd love to hear more about yours, too. I know you've got quite the backlog. Love you. Hey, Dad. I wanted to tell you that I miss you. I'm sorry I haven't been there for you and Grandma. Glad Sarah has. I'm gonna come up and see y'all soon. And, I'm just really glad you're my dad. Talk more later, but, I needed to say that. Okay, bye. Hey, Mom. It's me. Surprise. Found this number in the envelope you left. Thanks, by the way. This is harder than I thought it'd be. I think what I'm trying to say is I'd like to see you. If you'd like to see me. I can't forgive you, but I can understand. Well, as much as I can. I'm tired of stuffing my past away, hoping that if I don't look at it, it'll just go away. You know, there's too much to talk about. Voicemail really isn't the place, so I'll end with this. You're my mom. I love you, and here's to second chances.
Alright, thank you for playing. That was The Haunting of Joni Evers. I like the phone calls. You know, it is very emotional. I think the voice actress is fantastic. I think she carried a lot of the game because the writing, it was uneven. Also how she reacts to things, sometimes very, you know, more like humorous, sometimes very too cool, even when really weird stuff happens, then she's very emotional. But I think it's less about the voice actor and more about the direction and the writing that my issue was with. And it's not bad writing, it's more uneven writing, you know, when it's too many ideas, it's not really a thorough line of the tone and the intent of the game, because that also shifts a lot. But voice actor, fantastic. She was brilliant. I think one of the biggest assets of this game is the environmental storytelling. I talked about this before. I think the way this house is designed, visually stylized, and filled with furniture and nitbits to tell us more about the people in it. It told us actually more than the game did. Or the you know, the narration did, and the stuff we found in the memories. I sometimes felt like some of the members of the family were not as around, and we didn't know as much about them. And there were a few things where I really had open questions where I was like, who's the old man? Is that... I thought that was the grandpa, but then it said he died very young. So, but there's a huge altar, you know, for an old man who looks, it could be grandpa, but it couldn't be him, because if he died young, did grandma draw him as an old man? But, you know, if that was the case, then man, you gotta talk about this, you know. So, and there were a couple of things like that where I was like, did I miss something? Did this happen? You know, did someone die? Did someone not die? So I was a little bit confused here and there. But the environmental storytelling, the rooms, every single room really had a personality, and I loved it. I loved it. There were so many details. It was really fitting. It was beautiful, the way that was done. And the soundtrack also is absolutely gorgeous. And I do think the game runs quite well. I mean, I had the stutters, but gameplay-wise, it was very intuitive. I didn't get stuck at all. Which is funny, because when I replayed it, I got stuck a lot, you know. But I think when you play it for the first time, then it's perfectly designed in the way that you move towards the glowy bits, you move towards the glowing text, you stand there, and then something happens then. When you replay it and you know what's going to happen and you already want to move to something, then you realize it's all timed and it's actually triggered by certain things. So I didn't realize that during the first playthrough, and I think that shows that it's a very intuitive game. So that also was well done. I think the pacing was pretty good. I think the beginning was a bit too long, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But once I got in, I was in and I was interested in it. So the storytelling, again, also the writing, it's not bad. It's not bad writing. I was engaged with it. I was interested in it. But yeah, uneven in quite a few ways. That, you know, it's a very talented writing. But I think maybe it lacked someone from the outside looking at it, maybe cutting some things, maybe aligning some things. And that also goes for that Nickelodeon chapter, you know, where someone maybe should have said, you know what, tonally, it's a little bit out there compared to the rest of the game. Do we want that? Do we want to give our players this kind of whiplash? Also, the design of the Skullman. Oh, yeah, I talked about that in the recording I did for nothing. The Skullman, I didn't like it. I didn't like the name. I thought it was silly. It was also Goosebump territory. It was silly, you know. It was for kids. And also the design, I didn't like it because it looked a little bit 80s, 90s, cheap, made for TV horror show. And I actually, when I saw it, was excited about was the black dog. That would have been cool. A black dog could have been a fog dog, you know, where it's kind of made of shadows and fog, because that also works with the loss of memory and everything, and that would have been cool and more scary, actually, because I gotta say it, I think it couldn't have been the intention that the Skullman was scary, because he absolutely was not. That final scene was not scary. That was great in its ridiculousness. I enjoyed it, but it was not scary at all. I think the mannequins or whatever it was with the covers, they were kind of scary, but Medicine did it better. Medicine's way to work with the statue of Mary was so genius, scared the shit out of me throughout the game, like really stressed me out. And here there were a few times at the beginning. It is genius the way they do it, because when I replayed it, I discovered that when you're the first time in the dad's workspace, it's there in the background. And then when you return back to the workspace, it's gone again. So it actually also confirmed, in my point of view, that it's an actual supernatural game. So it's not is it a psychological horror game or is it supernatural? No, it's supernatural, because we see that mannequin thingy ghost Skullman, I guess, in the background when Joni does not actually really notice it. It's just there in the background. It's waiting. And it's waiting when it sucks the memories out of her, you know, turns everything dark and bitter, and then removes those memories from her head. And that was really cool. Like, when I replayed it and I discovered that, I was like, that is so fantastic. That's gorgeous. That's fantastic. That's so cool. But then towards the end, you know, it's a little bit too repetitive. It's super annoying to have this flashing skull in your face. It's like, what does that do? That's not scary. It's just annoying. And then the skull itself is just, I don't know. And maybe that was the intent, to be a little bit silly. But I would have liked to have it, because to fit the tone, also the visual style, for me, is more an implication for something more somber, something more serious. So, you know, and I think you can inject humor by having funny characters, you know, not slapstick funny, but actually characters that have a sense of humor. And then you can have your humorous stuff, but still tell a serious story. But here, the Skullman and everything, it didn't fit the whole tone of the game at all. and the Joni, like the flying blob bits, the vestiges, once they started talking as a group, it also got a little bit Captain Planet, what else do we have? Power Rangers, He-Man, a little bit, let's get the gang together to defeat evil. I don't know. Again, uneven from the tonality, because I liked it as a unit on its very own, but inside of this game it felt off. So yeah, that's my thing about the game. A lot of great things, and is definitely a development team to keep an eye on, to see what they will do next. But I hope the next time, I hope they go all out. I hope they do something very out there and silly, or really try the serious route, because they had a few moments where I was really moved emotionally, where it felt earned, also due to the voice acting. But then it was back again with the fuck the what and you go sis, where it's like, it's cringy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not open enough emotionally for that. But yeah, you know me. I get whiny easily. Not whiny. Why do I always say whiny? I get teary-eyed easily. Like, I'm open actually emotionally. But whenever this happened, whenever I got emotional, something happened right after that tore it away from me, where it felt like unearned again. It's like watching a TV commercial around Christmas, because that also, I always get teary-eyed, and then, I realize this is not earned. This is, they make me, this is, it doesn't feel true and good. So, yeah, pick a lane. But again, I will follow the development team and see what they come up with next, because I think they have so many things going for them. Because this game would still be a recommendation from me to anyone who enjoys, walking simulators. We need to have a different term for these kind of games. I hate the term walking simulator. It's so disparaging. It sounds so like as if there's no art to it, and there's a huge art to it. But yeah, I think I would definitely recommend it. It was just not, and it was not, by far not the worst game of this type I've ever played on this channel. I even would say it was one of the better ones. But yeah, it was, and I think that's it. What annoys me a little bit, frustrates me, because I played a couple of games like this where after a while I was like, okay, this is not going to be good. This is going to be a bit, difficult to play, or it will use the cliches and I will not really enjoy it. But here it had so much potential, because there was, like, the talent is absolutely there. Like, it fits, the love to detail, it's, and the team knows how to write. They know how to create compelling characters. They know how to design something. They know how to create a walking simulator that's fun to play through. Music is gorgeous. The themes are great. To have it be the sister and not to have like the husband and he killed his family, blah blah blah. That's so great. And then it didn't really hit it, and then it didn't really work out. And I think that's why I'm actually more frustrated, because it is so much better than a lot of other games in this subgenre of horror that I played. Yeah. How did you like it? What did you think? Are you also mad at the mom? Are you mad at the dad? Because I think dad would probably get a lot of leeway because he stayed. But I do think he put too much parental tasks onto his daughter. He's still not as bad as the mom, who just sucks. But yeah, I still think he could have done better. And also grandma also could have done better. They all, in the end, The Haunting of Joni Evers leaves me, and I know the goal for her was to be at peace with it. Not to forgive and forget everything, but to be at peace with herself and to open avenues. I think her sister, no fault. at all. Like, those two sisters, I hope they get along, they get closer with each other, and they live happily ever after. Her relationship with her grandma and her father and her mother will forever be strained in my head, because unless Joni completely gives up her own, you know, feelings on this, because her feelings about this are correct. She was failed by the adults in her life. They left her on her own. They didn't really lead her, you know, because they're for their own trauma and stuff. And that's what this game is about, you know, that even adults, even parents, even grandparents can make mistakes, you know, because they have their own baggage. But still, you have a kid, you have grandkids, you kind of have a little bit of a responsibility to take care of them, to lead them, you know. So the Haunting of Joni Evers in my head is still there. But I'm happy that she finds peace. I don't, on her behalf, you know. I'm still angry at Mom. I'm still disappointed with Dad. And I'm still disappointed with Grandma. But, yeah. What's your opinion on that? You know, would you forgive? Would you forget? And also, what did you think about that fight? That boss fight? I really need to know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not yet sure what next game I will pick. Yeah, I don't have anything planned right now. I have a couple of options I might check out, but we'll see how I feel next week. Until then, have a great day. Bye bye! Or have a great week. Why just a day? Have a great year. There we go. Bye! This is my self-recorded outro song so I don't get hit with copyright claims. If you subscribe to a lot of fun tutorials, reviews, and let's plays.